Judith here. Today we are going to do question and answer session to see the impact of the assignment with Comundo at North Coast Medical Training College. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this questionnaire. My name is Willemijn Simons. I'm a physiotherapist by profession, and I'm working as a co-worker from Comundo at the North Coast Medical Training College. So my assignment is on disability inclusion at the college and in the community, as well as rehabilitation care.
So my first question is, are there many medical training places in Kenya where people with disabilities can also study?
So Kenya had two types of medical training college. We have the private ones, like the North Coast Medical Training College. It's a private training college. And we have the Kenyan Medical Training College. What is the biggest training college? It's not known how many persons with disabilities are studying a medical profession in Kenya.
Okay. Thank you. My second question is, what opportunity does the North Coast Medical Training College offer people with disabilities who want to study here?
So when I started my assignment, I was working together with the staff to see what is already in place and what needs to be changed or needs to be edited. We have especially worked on accessibility for persons living with disability in the wheelchairs. We have looked at social inclusion. We included the rights of persons with disability in all the policies. We set up some systems and mentor programs so that we are able to mentor them through their study. I'm sure to say that the North Coast Medical Training College is now an institution who can include persons living with disabilities, with different kinds of disabilities, of course, and we find out it's important to look for individual solutions for every person.
That's so nice. Can you kindly give a clear example of how you have been able to help such students with disabilities at NCMTC to date, or improve their situation at North Coast Medical Training College?
I was very lucky. One of my first day that I started my assignment at the North Coast Medical Training College. At the same time, Eric, a student living with disability, he was sitting in a wheelchair, came to the college to apply for a study place. So I think together we had the experience from the gaps we were still having at the North Coast, and we learned together how to address these gaps, seeing what the challenges were that he faced. So that was one thing. We were very lucky to do the journey together with him. I also did quite some sensitization workshops with the staff, as in Kenya often people with disabilities are stigmatized, and we want to also reduce that stigma inside the college. We started a community, an inclusive committee at the North Coast, where we also include staff and persons living with disabilities to address the gaps, to see where the challenges are, and to continually improve.
My next question is, as a co-worker for Comundo at North Coast Medical Training, do you have any connection to the students in Kenya generally, and how have you been able to mentor the person or the student?
So when I started at the North Coast Medical Training College, at the same time, Eric, a person living with disability in a wheelchair, started as well at the college. So I've been able to guide him through his journey so far. It's 2 years ago. In total, we have, at the moment, we have 5 students with different kinds of disability. Eric, I'm the closest one with Eric. I mentored him during his sessions at school, but also later on when he had to go to the community for his community rotations, and when he went to the dispensary. I'm very grateful to see him grow in his journey at the North Coast. I think he was very committed from the beginning, as we said, let's see if we have the possibility to include you at the college. He said, yes, we will make it work. So I think that was a very positive attitude from him. And as I've seen him growing during his journey, I'm confident that he will be a very good health professional, and he will make big difference for other persons living with disabilities in the communities, as he is studying community health and development, and also other persons living with disabilities, to motivate that you can still study at a medical training profession. Yes, so disability is not an ability, and he really focused on his abilities, and I think he managed to come a long way already. And I'm proud that I was able to to mentor him in this time.
That's so lovely of you, Ilarai. So, my final question is, can you give an example of a successful project and where it is clear that it was only possible to achieve the goal together?
I strongly believe that we can only collaborate together with all stakeholders, especially when we talk about disability inclusion, but also to other parts of my work. To work together with the different stakeholders, that gives us the opportunity to learn from the needs from other ones or how the other stakeholders look to the situation, then to come together to a solution and everyone understand each other. For directly an example to my work, we started a committee for inclusivity at the North Coast, and from the beginning it was important for us as community members that we include students with disabilities as well, to be able to hear from them where the gaps are, but we probably don't even know. I have an example. When we were preparing Eric's community rotation, we were thinking about how does he get there, with which van, can we take the wheelchair with us. Also, when it's too hilly, he might not be able to go there, and so these were all kind of things we were thinking about. Then Eric came to us and said for him it's very important that the toilet situation is suitable for him. And we have not been thinking about that before. So I think it's really important to include all stakeholders if we are looking for solutions. So I think it's important to work together, then we reach better outcomes and we have a better understanding from each other.
Maybe your final remarks on your work and how have you been taken in as Comundo?
Yes. So as Comundo co-worker at the North Coast Medical Training College, I have been welcomed very well from the beginning, and people are willing to work together to learn from each other. And I think it's really learning from each other. I can learn a lot from the people at the North Coast Medical Training College, and I hope they also learn something from me, but I'm sure. And I'm very happy to see that we have some students with disabilities at the college now, and that they also do well in the community.
Thank you for the session.
Thank you too.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.